Hands down, bar none, no questions about it. Blake Griffin was the best big in college basketball last season. Coming into this year, there are some questions about who was the best big man in the nation. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz. Glad to be with you here on CBSSports.com. We continue our coverage of Countdown to Tip-Off all the way until the point when college basketball season begins just after the beginning of November. Let's bring in our CBSSports.com college basketball columnist, Gary Parrish. And Gary, it was Blake Griffin without a doubt. Tyler Hansbrough had all the accolades, but as far as dominance, it was Griffin. What about this year? Who is at the top of your list this year?
Well, it depends on what you like. If you just like numbers and just a purely dominant college basketball player, if you're into fantasy college basketball, it's Luke Herringody. 23 points, 12 rebounds a game last year, shot 37% from beyond the arc. Not bad for a big guy. He, the only problem is that he was just on a bad team, and it clearly wasn't his fault. He wasn't the problem with Notre Dame. A lot of it was. I think they overscheduled out of the league, and then the Big East sort of ate him up. But he's great, and if you can get past the idea that he played in the NIT last year as opposed to the NCAA tournament, then he's probably the guy. But again, a lot of this type of stuff goes to best player on best team, and that's probably Cole Aldridge, a big kid at Kansas, 15 points, 11 rebounds a game. Last year for the Jayhawks, and again, he's the anchor on the #1 team in the country. So depends on how you want to look at it, but no question, it'll be one of those two best big men in the country.
And an anchor, especially in the tournament, that got even better and showed the nation what he could do in the NCAA tournament. What about freshmen? We've talked a lot about freshmen this year, Gary, and how much you love guys like John Wall and Avery Bradley. In terms of big men, is there a freshman that could stand out and become one of the best in the nation?
Oh, sure. His name's Derek Favors. He's a kid from Georgia playing at Georgia Tech. And like Wall in that he is a professional basketball player who happens to be stuck with a year of college. He's a one-year player. He's going to come in. He's athletic. He works hard. He's a solid kid. He's going to have an immediate impact. And when you put him down there with the experienced players Georgia Tech already has, look, they haven't won much down there, but their roster, if you just look at the roster, is really solid. And I won't be surprised at all if we look up in February and see Georgia Tech is in the top 3 in the ACC, and we look up in February and see Derek Favors is the reason why.
Hey, Gary, you got a lot of guys coming back this year on this list in terms of top big men. Al-Farouq Aminu, Kyle Singler, Patrick Patterson, Ed Davis. Which one of these guys, Greg Monroe too, which one of these guys do you think may have the biggest improvement this season?
I think Farouq probably, and the reason is, I mean, he is immensely talented. Think about this. He got 13 points and 8 rebounds last year while playing on a team with Jeff Teague where he wasn't really even one of the top 2 options. I mean, he had James Johnson on one side of him, Jeff Teague, who's a little bit of explosive player, but kind of a ball hog, honestly. And so Farouq got 13 and 8 without being an option on his own team. Now he's the #1 guy. I won't be surprised if his numbers jump up to 20 and 10 easy.
Does Ed Davis have to do well for Roy Williams in North Carolina to get back to the Final Four?
Yeah, I mean, their strength is that front court, and it starts with him. I mean, Deion Thompson is going to be about what we know he is. I mean, he's not great, but he's a very good college player. Ed Davis is the key. Ed Davis is a guy who a lot of people, honestly, last year thought if Roy would have played him more, he would have posted big-time numbers. We'll see, because he's going to play more this year. He's going to get, Tyler Hansbrough-type minutes. And so, but I think it's going to be a great deal for Carolina because, again, this is a kid who could have been a top 5 pick, and he produced in the brief minutes that he played. He'll come out and have a big sophomore year.
All right, Gary Parrish, thank you very much, sir. Looking forward to the beginning of college basketball season.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, folks, maybe we can get Gary on a flight to Hawaii and get him out there for the Maui Invitational. We'll see. For Gary Parrish, I'm Jason Horowitz. Read all of his articles here on CBSSports.com. Take care, folks.